Welcome to English Podcast, your place to enjoy captivating stories and real conversations while improving your English. Listen anytime, anywhere, and boost your confidence step by step.
Have you ever had one of those days where everything seems to go wrong? You know, the kind of day where you spill your coffee, miss your bus, and then accidentally wear mismatched socks? Well, our story today is about a day like that, but specifically focused on a grocery shopping trip gone hilariously wrong.
Oh, I think we've all been there. A simple trip to the supermarket can turn into a comedy of errors, can't it? This story takes place in a bustling, vibrant supermarket. Imagine bright fluorescent lights, long aisles stacked high with colorful products, and the constant beeping of checkout scanners. Bustling means full of activity and people.
Exactly. Our main character is named Arthur, a kind, slightly absent-minded man who finds himself in the middle of this supermarket chaos. He's got his shopping list clutched in his hand, determined to get in and out as quickly as possible.
And as you can imagine, with Arthur's absent-mindedness, determined means he's made a firm decision to do something. But in a busy place like this, things rarely go according to plan. Let's see what kind of trouble Arthur finds himself in.
Arthur, feeling a little overwhelmed by the sheer variety of products, decided to tackle the produce section first. He needed bananas. Simple enough, right? He spotted a bunch he liked, reached out, and accidentally knocked over a pyramid display of perfectly arranged oranges. They rolled everywhere.
Oh dear, a classic supermarket mishap. Mishap is a small accident or an unlucky event. Poor Arthur. I can just picture the oranges scattering across the floor. A bright orange wave in the middle of the produce aisle. What does he do next?
So, I finally find the aisle with the pasta. It's packed. Packed means very crowded, full of people. I'm trying to reach for the spaghetti, but there's this lady very short struggling to get a jar of olives from the top shelf.
Oh dear, I can picture it now. Aisle, by the way, is the long narrow walkway between the shelves in the supermarket. So, she's short and she needs help.
Exactly. I offer to help, of course. I reach up and grab the olives, and as I turn to give them to her, I bump into a cart that's a shopping cart, the metal thing you push around. It's full of, you guessed it, watermelons.
Watermelons. Oh no, that's not good. They're so big and, well, they can be a bit fragile, can't they? Like, they break easily.
Fragile is the perfect word. One of them, the biggest one, rolls off the cart, bounces twice, and lands right in my shopping basket. Which, at that moment, only contained eggs.
No way, this is a disaster. This is turning into a comedy sketch. A sketch, by the way, is a short, funny scene, often in a theater or on TV.
Tell me about it. The watermelon explodes. Juice everywhere. Egg yolk dripping from the broken melon. It was a mess, an absolute mess. Mess means, well, you can probably imagine. Chaos, disarray.
I'm cringing just listening. Cringing, you know, that feeling of second-hand embarrassment. Like when you see something awkward happen to someone else and you feel uncomfortable for them. Poor you.
And the lady with the olives? She just stared at me, wide-eyed, holding the jar like it was a precious artifact. Then she very quietly said, "Thank you for the olives," and walked away.
She just walked away? After all that? I can't believe it. What did you do?
So, to quickly recap what's happened so far in our story, grocery shopping gone wrong. Arthur, our main character, is having a very confusing time at the supermarket. He's looking for specific ingredients for a special dinner he's planning, but everything seems to be going hilariously wrong, right?
Exactly. First, he mistook a watermelon for a giant green apple, which led to a rather embarrassing incident in the produce aisle. Remember how he tried to bite into it? Hilarious.
Oh, that was priceless. And then, he accidentally grabbed a bag of chili peppers instead of paprika. He thought they looked similar. Paprika, chili peppers, same difference, he thought, completely unaware of the fiery surprise awaiting him.
And let's not forget the whole organic bananas situation. He spent ages searching for bananas labeled organic, thinking they would be somehow better, stronger. He even asked a shop assistant where they kept the extra organic ones, which, of course, doesn't even exist.
Poor Arthur. He means well. He just doesn't have a lot of experience with grocery shopping. And all these little misunderstandings are building up to what we expect will be a very interesting, and probably spicy, dinner.
Definitely. The comedy comes from his innocence, his lack of awareness of common supermarket practices. It's like watching someone from a different planet try to navigate our earthly customs. Extra organic. I still can't get over that.
Now, where did we leave off? Ah, yes. Arthur has finally located the cheese section, after a detour through the pet food aisle. Don't ask, and he's facing another dilemma. Choosing the right kind of cheese.
And knowing Arthur, this is bound to be another comedic disaster waiting to happen. Remember, dilemma means a difficult choice or situation. So, let's see what kind of cheesy trouble Arthur gets himself into next.
So, there I was, surrounded by tumbling watermelons. It was absolute chaos. The phrase, absolute chaos, means complete disorder, total confusion. Like a very messy room, but with fruit flying everywhere. And then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw Mrs. Higgins. You remember her, the lady with the pet parrot who always wears a feather boa?
Oh, I remember Mrs. Higgins. Always a spectacle. Spectacle means something unusual or remarkable that attracts attention. And yes, a lady with a parrot and a feather boa in a supermarket definitely qualifies. What was she doing amidst the watermelon mayhem?
Well, she wasn't exactly helping. She was perched on top of a display of canned peaches, trying to coax her parrot, Percy, down from the sprinkler system. He was apparently fascinated by the sudden downpour. To coax means to gently persuade or urge someone to do something.
Oh dear, that sounds like quite the predicament. Predicament means a difficult, embarrassing, or confusing situation. So, the store was flooded, there were watermelons everywhere, and Mrs. Higgins was perched precariously on a display of canned peaches. It's like something out of a comedy film.
Exactly, and as if things weren't bizarre enough already, the store manager, a very serious man named Mr. Stern, appeared. He looked absolutely bewildered. Bewildered means completely puzzled or confused.
Oh, I can only imagine the look on his face. So, we have absolute chaos, a spectacle, to coax, predicament, and bewildered. All great words to describe this interesting situation. What happened next?
Well, Mr. Stern, still dripping and looking utterly bewildered, pointed at the mess and then at me, sputtering, You clean this up. He seemed to think I was responsible for the whole watermelon waterfall. To sputter means to speak in a confused and unclear way, often because you're shocked or upset. Okay, let's recap the story so far. Remember, recap means to summarize. I was having a pretty disastrous grocery shopping trip. First, I mistook a watermelon for a giant, green, bumpy apple. Then, I accidentally knocked over a pyramid of canned peaches, creating a noisy, rolling mess in aisle 3.
And then you tried to discreetly, or secretly, put the dented cans back on the shelf, hoping nobody noticed. Discreetly is a good word to learn. But, of course, a shop assistant saw everything. Quite embarrassing for you.
It was. And to make things worse, I couldn't find the frozen peas. I asked an employee, a young man who looked very bored, where they were. He just pointed vaguely towards the back of the store, which was a labyrinth, a complex and confusing network of aisles. I felt completely lost.
Then, while searching for those elusive peas, you bumped into a woman with a shopping cart overflowing with groceries. You both apologized, but in the chaos, you accidentally swapped shopping baskets. You didn't notice until you got to the checkout.
Exactly. My basket was full of strange items. Baby food, diapers, and even a bag of dog biscuits. Diapers are what babies wear, by the way. I was so confused. Meanwhile, the woman was probably just as surprised to find my strange collection of items, including the slightly damaged cans of peaches.
And the watermelon you thought was an apple. Remember when you finally got to the checkout, the cashier looked very puzzled? It's understandable. You tried to explain, but it was difficult. You felt flustered, which means confused and agitated.
Flustered is a great way to describe it. Finally, I just paid for the strange items in the basket and escaped the supermarket as fast as I could. I was so relieved to be out of there. I just wanted to go home and forget the whole ordeal.
So, you went home with baby food, diapers, and dog biscuits, and no frozen peas. What a grocery shopping trip. The word ordeal means a difficult or unpleasant experience. A perfect word to end this story.
Thanks for listening to English Boost. Remember, practice a little every day and you'll see big results. See you in the next episode.